guys, Marian here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share a little update on my baby because he just turned 1 years old. I cannot believe it. So I wanted to share all the updates of how he's doing, how I'm doing, how we're doing a family, and just kind of catch up with you guys. So let's jump in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Marian. I make videos about being a mom and being a Jewish mom. And if you're interested in Hanukkah content, definitely hit that subscribe button because I'm about to launch right into it. So Zachary is my third little boy. I have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old, and it's so interesting and fascinating to me to see how they all are so different and similar, and how they all are growing up and how different they were at each stage. So it's just so fascinating to me because they live in the same house, but they're really different and also similar. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Let's talk about eating and sleeping and cover those ones first. So feeding, we are still nursing at least 2 times a day, sometimes 4. Basically, I'll nurse him in the morning when he wakes up and at night right before he goes to bed. And then if I am with him, and then if I'm like putting him down for a nap, I'll nurse him before his naps. But sometimes he'll fall asleep in the car. He is my best baby at transferring. He does so good with his nap transfer, and I think it's because as the third kid, he just like most of the time has to fall asleep in the car, and he's just really good about sticking to his schedule wherever he is. So he'll fall asleep in the car, and then I'll just transfer him to the crib and he'll do totally fine. Like, it does not affect him whatsoever. But if I am putting him to sleep, and we're already home kind of thing, then I will nurse him and then put him down, versus if we're in the car and he passes out, then he just takes care of that by himself. But he's so good about it, and he's a great sleeper. So he is another snoo baby. My middle son was my first baby that I had in the snoo when they were born, and now Zachary was started on day 1 or night 1 in the snoo. And he transferred out of it great. He did great. We did a tiny bit of sleep training around 6 months. So after he was out of the snoo and in his room, he was waking up once a night, sometimes twice, but I feel like it was more like once a night. And I knew he just was in that habit. He didn't really need to eat. He wasn't upset. He didn't have a wet diaper or anything like that. He just was in the habit of waking up. So we did a really gentle kind of cry it out. It was done in a few nights, and he's totally fine. So now he sleeps amazing, so good. He sleeps from about 6:30 or 7 all the way until 7:30. I often have to wake him up because I need to nurse him before I get the other boys up and get out the door. But my boys are all really good sleepers. They tend to all sleep in. We've never been the family that's up at 5 in the morning. So I'm very thankful for that. He is such a good sleeper. And I already shared, I was supposed to be talking about, wait, was I talking about eating or sleeping? No, eating. Yeah, eating, not sleeping. Okay, so we're nursing at least 2 times a day, sometimes 4, but those nap feeds are just a tiny bit. He has always been supplemented with formula. I had low supply from my hypothyroidism, and for that worked out so good for us, because as a third kid, because I'm all over the place, it would be impossible. Literally, it would be impossible to nurse him every time he needed to nurse, because especially little babies have to nurse for half an hour, 6 times a day. There's just no chance I could do that. Even with pumping, even with my Willow pump, where I can use it on the go, it doesn't have any cords or anything, there's still just absolutely no way. I have to totally shift my schedule and hire a nanny to do carpool. There's just no way I could do it with 3 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I work full-time, but I don't have anyone else who could pick up the kids or give them dinner or do anything else. So yeah, there's just no way we could have made that work. But I'm so thankful that I still get to nurse him. And I always say that for us, formula allowed us to nurse because I knew that I could supplement, that made sure he was getting in his ounces. Then I'm always so relaxed about our feeds because it's really almost supplemental to the formula. Anyways, he's done with formula now and he's on whole milk. He loves his milk. He loves to drink milk. So I don't know. I was actually just asking his pediatrician, is it okay that he still loves his bottle? She's like, yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna let him, you know, for the next little while keep having his bottles of milk because he enjoys it so much. But he still is a good eater, so he's willing to try different foods. He eats them, you know, in his cute little high chair, and he's very happy about it. I wish he was getting slightly more calories from food and slightly less from milk at this point, but it's still such early days. Like, he just turned 1, so that journey will happen in its own time. So that's eating. And then I kind of already told you about sleeping. He's a great sleeper. He now does 1 nap a day. I sort of like slipped him into that a little bit earlier than he probably was ready for. Again, because of our schedule, I've got 3 different carpool pickups and everything going on, and he has a little baby class now. So in order for him to be able to go to his baby class, he needed to not start his nap so early in the morning. So we pushed it back a little bit, and now he pretty much does 1 big nap from about 10:30 till 1:30, which is awesome because that's my chance to get all my work done, which works out really well for me. So I'm very happy with it. Some days he'll take a earlier and shorter nap in the morning around like 10, and then I'll give him another one at 3:30 if he wants. But we're down to 1 nap, which is a little early, but actually my middle son also went to 1 nap at 1. I remember because we were on vacation. I was like, oh my God, he's dropping his 2nd nap. And so now I like, because I was in the mindset that could happen, I embraced it, and I actually love it and much prefer it. With my oldest son, I don't even remember. So that's eating and sleeping. In terms of playing, he got this gorgeous set from LoveEvery, which is an amazing toy brand. I've worked with them before, and they have play kits that are designed for each age and stage. So right now, for his birthday, he just got a new one, and actually my middle son took like half the toys from it because he loved it so much. I did not expect that he would, but there's this little bag with mice inside, and my middle one just loved it. He's been carrying the mice around and taking them to preschool. Actually, I say mice, they're actually bunnies, but he calls them mice. Anyways, so I decided to get him his own set for Hanukkah. They do have older kids set, so I'm really excited about that, and I'll put the links to LoveEvery below. They're really awesome, especially if it's your first kid and you're like, I don't know what toys to buy for this stage, I don't know what's right. They have every kit that is called for each age group, especially designed for what they're interested in, their development stage. So you'll notice babies go through stages of doing things like putting toys in one thing, taking them out, lining them up, organizing, like each stage of their growth through like toddlerhood hits these certain milestones, and the LoveEvery toys are specially designed to go along with that stage and really feed into that, you know, experience, development, and creativity that they're having. So I'm so thankful to LoveEvery for sending that kit because Zachary's absolutely loving it. So are the older boys. So I'll put the links for that below. But yeah, other than that, he only loves to play with like whatever his brothers are doing. He wants to be right in the mix, which is pretty adorable. He is the most like active, engaged child. He just keeps up with his brothers. He wrestles them, he tackles them. He doesn't so much like destroy the things that they're making. I know you always think of that with a baby, like the older toddler builds a tower and the baby knocks it down. That doesn't happen so much, I think, because my older kids don't really play that way. Like they're not really building like huge things for the baby that he could knock down. They more like just play with dinosaurs that are all over the place, so they don't notice or care that they want him to play too, so they love when he gets involved. There definitely are times when he'll take things, especially my middle son who's only 3. If the baby takes something that he wants to play with, he'll get frustrated. My older son like just adores the baby and like loves when he comes to play with him, so that doesn't happen as much with him. But I have made it like there's very clear rules in our house. If you don't want the baby to touch something, you have to play with it on a table. Like it has to be high up, or the baby's allowed to touch it, because there's just no way I could manage you know, otherwise. So the older boys understand that, and if they want to play with something that they don't want the baby to touch, then they need to either like go in their room and close the door, or put it up on a table, or do something like that. But in terms of what Zachary likes to play with, he loves anything that his brothers are playing with. The only downside is he literally puts every single thing in his mouth. Throughout the day, I'm constantly like reaching my hand in there, like grabbing something out of his cheek. I watch him like a hawk because any little thing he'll find and put in his mouth. And like, we have no small things around. I have told the older boys, like, absolutely no little toys can be out ever. Like, we don't even own them because he just puts everything in his mouth. But still, he finds stuff from like the littlest piece of trash to just anything. So that is a very frustrating little aspect of his personality. I like that he's exploring and that he like feels comfortable, but goodness. He also keeps me on my toes because he has no fear. Absolutely no fear, zero caution in that child. He opens up every drawer, dives down every steps he can find, like jumps off things, just is always launching himself somewhere. So that is definitely requires a lot of my time and attention to make sure he's, you know, staying safe. With my older ones, I feel like they were just more cautious. Like my middle one liked to play with things, and he would always be in my kitchen drawers and things like that, but he pretty much like stayed put. You would open a counter for him and he could, you know, play around with the Tupperware for half an hour. My oldest one like never got into any trouble, like, because that's just not his personality. He wanted to like just be by me and play with his stuff and like do his thing, but he was not, you know, going off on his own and doing crazy stuff. The youngest, oh my goodness. So I just love that every child is their own like challenges and new things, and it definitely keeps it fresh. So that's how he's doing with play. And what else? He's talking a little bit. He has a few words: mama, dada, uh-oh, which is so cute, and bye-bye. And he's not walking yet, but he is standing. 12 months is, by the way, really early for walking. I know if you don't have kids or you don't remember, it's very, very early. So I expect he'll probably be walking within the next few months. I'm in no hurry at all. Like, you know, I just love savoring the baby days. So he'll like stand up a little bit if he's holding two things to balance, and I'm like, no, not yet, little one. But I'm excited that he's growing. He's the fastest crawler you've ever seen. So fast, so strong, super like coordinated, I think. And he like was early-ish to crawl. Like he just wanted to kind of keep up, and very like loves climbing. I have a really exciting Hanukkah present for him. It's like a pickler triangle that he can climb on. I'll share all about that really soon. He is very social, loves people, like absolutely loves a crowd, loves being around people, and gets like so excited. He does not seem shy at all to me, which is funny because I think I'm a bit shy, and his dad is like, my husband is, I wouldn't describe Andrew as shy, but our kids are a bit shy, or like, you know, a bit more reserved in public, especially like in a big group, but Zachary's not. So far, not at all. So I kind of hope he keeps that up, because I always want to be more like in the moment, in the mix, and not be too much in my head in a crowd. So I like that Zachary's like that, and hopefully he'll kind of spread that around us too. So yeah, that's his 1 year update. Thank you guys for being here since the beginning. I feel like you've been here since I took that first pregnancy test. Some of you since Max was 1 year old, my oldest. So I just love having y'all be here on this journey. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's any videos you want that I can film about this age and stage. And like I mentioned at the beginning, Hanukkah is coming, and you'll see tons more about that on my channel. So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up to let me know you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!